The reason why I joined STEM was the cliche answer that most people give you. I wanted to join BME specifically because I had a strong interest in medicine. Aside from that, I actually wanted to go to med school, but halfway across my journey in BME, I decided that I was more interested in tech, and I just kind of followed my path through BME, and now I'm here.
I joined STEM because honestly, from ever since I was a younger girl, like I knew that the first profession I really wanted to follow was something science related. I would always say, oh my gosh, I want to be a scientist. Like that sounds like the coolest things. I think I had a lot of curiosities about the world, and later it kind of progressed into me enjoying biology.
My family has a lot of terminal disease issues, so cancer runs really long in my family, and that motivated me to study something where I can make an impact on people that suffer through the same things. So I currently work in regenerative medicine, so I do stem cell therapies, and I feel like I'm making an impact. So that's the reason I chose my major. For people looking to go into STEM, especially a woman going into STEM, you really want to stay true to yourself. Like somebody's always going to be out there to tell you, you shouldn't do this because you're a woman, you're not strong enough, you're not smart enough. But don't let that affect you, essentially, because you know better than they do. They're just putting their opinions onto you, and you don't have to go by their line. So do what you want, don't let them affect you, and find groups that support each other. Make sure that you have a tight-knit community of friends. Make sure you're all having a positive mindset, because it does get hard, it does get stressful, but it's all about community and finding your connections. But in biomedical engineering, we have, I think it's a 60-40 women to men ratio. Women tend to dominate. There tend to be more women-led study groups, and we tend to have really close ties with each other, so I wouldn't say there's any impact for me personally.
One of my first engineering classes that I took here as a first year was Engineering 10, and it's a general engineering class. So even though there's more women in biomedical engineering, we still have to take a lot of the same general education classes as all the other engineering majors, and those classes are heavily infiltrated by men. Wow, that is the reality of the engineering field. And just from that moment on, I really understood why there's so much talk around underrepresentation with women in STEM, just because it really is, I don't want to say male dominated, because I'm in a field where there's a lot of women, but I feel like there's not a lot of femininity in STEM. Generally, I feel much more comfortable in classes where women are present. I think that I can relate better to women peers, so I can ask them for help a lot easier than male. But I think that I've kind of learned how to just get over it and ask help from my male peers, because I'm living in the reality of the situation that I'm going to be surrounded by a lot of men, and therefore I kind of figured out a different way to approach it.
In many group projects, it's mostly men, and sometimes I feel a bit unwelcome and a little, I guess, insecure about my values and my opinions, because I know that they don't value my opinions as the same way that they value another guy's one, and sometimes I feel a bit unwelcome and a little, I guess, insecure about my values and my opinions, because I know that they don't value my opinions as the same way that they value another guy's one, which makes me feel really insecure, and it's almost like imposter syndrome, where I think I'm not doing good enough while everyone's doing so well in their classes. But the more as I went into my junior and senior year, I started making more BME friends, especially with the girls. And in most BME classes, we get to choose our own partners, so most of the time I choose most girls, and I feel very welcome there. Don't be afraid to especially in engineering, in the math, the science is very intimidating, but don't be afraid. Trust me, the teachers will go through you one by one, and even if you don't know, there's always plenty of resources to help you.
The Biomedical Engineering Society, it's a professional organization intended to promote students' professional and social development within the field of biotechnology. So we focus a lot on medical device development, working in biotech. I'm currently their vice president of events. I've actually applied to be president next year once I go into graduate school. And I feel like a lot of the impact we do make on students is guiding them professionally in their lives, because biotech is booming in the Bay Area. It's a really new field, and I think it's important to have that support system. So that's why I joined, that's why I'm involved.
I think the main thing is confidence. Confidence is key in any class you take. Even if you don't know anything, ask the teacher, ask your peers, ask someone, go for the extra tutoring, go for the TA sessions, go for the office hours, because you shouldn't be afraid to ask for help, and help isn't something that is bad, looked down upon, because everyone needs a little push in their life, and especially you being a woman, you might need the extra push, because sometimes because of the male dominations in class, you might feel a bit insecure, and like you don't want to ask questions in class of like full of 60 people. So if you go for office hours, there will be like only 2 or 3 people usually don't show up, so you can really nail your understanding on a certain topic by asking the professor really deep questions.
We have the skills. We are, I think, scaring women out of it. So I suggest women, if I were to give them advice, don't be scared. If you feel intimidated, then find a community of women that can support you, because there are women that are extremely smart and extremely capable in this field. Find a mentor, let them guide you, and that's all. I feel so intimidated right now.
Actually, the light. Okay, I'm gonna have to go here. Okay.
Everybody's here.
Hello, buddies. I'm back.
Really good networking skills, professional development, and yeah, just basically that's it.